Hello everyone, it's Kristen. I'm bringing you a special video today that shares some of my story and why it is so very hard to let go of the person you used to be. And I say that because that's essentially what happens through the coaching work that I do to help people let go of the ego part of themselves that causes suffering in their life and step into the wholeness of who they really are. And it was not possible for me until I had a massive awakening back in 2013, which even began 5 years earlier through what I call my unraveling in 2008, when my mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And so through that 5-year journey to try and keep her alive, to do anything I could to keep her spirits lifted, taking her to her appointments and trying to get her the best treatments possible, that was a time where I was unraveling and I didn't even know it, because I had been this woman who had succeeded in superhuman feats much of my life. I had been able to achieve standards that were so unrealistic because I strove so very hard and never was willing to give up, and did so many things that were dysfunctional now looking back to just meet my goals. I was so driven to live the American dream, and my mom's battle was part of that pursuit. She had always been my greatest cheerleader, so now it was my time to save her. And when I wasn't able to save her, that was something I never wanted to face. And so when she passed away in 2013, and I saw what happened in the moment of her passing, when I saw the peace rush back into her body, she had this awakening experience where I could actually see a glow through her body. And I knew she returned home to unconditional love and peace. It was just a knowing within myself. And at the same time, I sort of did myself. There was this peace that came over me that I couldn't describe. It took me months to try and figure out what had happened. But it was enough to change my life and to encourage me to live a whole different life, a life free of fear. Because essentially what I discovered is my mom had so many worries that it eventually formed disease in her body. And it's interesting because I break the word up when I talk to this about my clients, with their own experiences. It's dis-ease. And what happens is that thought process eventually can manifest as an illness. Not always as serious as cancer, but eventually, if it goes on prolonged, it can become cancer in the body. And it is so vitally important to let go of these things that don't serve us, these thoughts and beliefs that keep us stuck and playing small. And so doing this work to step into the wholeness of who you are is so very courageous. For me, I had a situation where I saw it so clearly laid out for me. But the people that are working with me are stepping up proactively to do this work. And now is such an amazing time to shed the old, because what used to be a really laborious process in the past to move through and relive the trauma and all of that stuff doesn't have to be that way anymore. It's a mindset, it's an awareness. And so through a conscious awareness, through mindfulness, my clients within 10 sessions can fully transform from the inside out. And as they let go of the person they used to be, they're able to live a life of uppercase standards, that I say, and truly thrive. But the point of this video is to let you know that it is a process, and it's not easy. It almost feels like a death at times, because you're letting go of something you knew so well and served you in some way for much of your life. you're letting go. It's almost like a friend, even though we now really, once we're out of it, we don't look at it as a friend because we see how it kept us playing small, but in some way it was. And so it's not easy letting go of that. And so it's important to remember that if you're on your path and you're having a day which you're struggling with things, recognize you're just having that day. But this journey is so worth it. In time, you will fully understand why you've chosen to walk this path, and you will fully be living the abundance of what it has to offer you. Thanks so much for listening today. Take care, everyone.